Canada tried to develop data. You realize?
I've seen aliens before. I needed a second to fully digest that.
What's up, guys? Welcome to This Reality on Mixed Realities.
Mixed realities.
I'm your co-host, Weston. And this is your other co-host. Or I guess we're both the hosts. We're both co-hosts. So...
Yeah, I guess I'm the host and you're the co-host.
No, I think it's when you have a co-host,
We're
you're
just two
automatically
hosts.
both co-hosts.
Oh, really? I mean, you would know before me.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, wow.
Do you know?
And
Because I'm trying to think of like other podcasts. Are they both co-hosts?
I think we're both hosts.
Okay, well, we're both hosts. I guess comment below what you think it is. Are we both co-hosts or are we just both hosts?
Obviously.
Yeah, so because I'm that's actually something I didn't even think about when doing the opening. But we'll start off with updates on our challenge.
Challenge updates.
Honestly, been reading I've been doing journal every day, but I did read for the first time. The makeup for I missed my journal entry because I had a rough day, so I read 20 pages in one day. Made up for my one day. So I guess I did kind of cheat a little bit, but had to make up for it. That book, the overthinking book, not a big fan so far, but I'm 20 pages in, so.
I opened it and I thought it was a tad made me overthink. It made me overthink as I was reading it.
Yeah,
Books usually make me not overthink, but I don't know. The challenge has been going well. I have now I feel like I'm alternating between reading and writing every other day.
In the beginning, I was just strictly writing.
Me too. I don't know. I was so tired with work, so then I was like, might as well just read.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much easier to read because your thoughts aren't really in there. But
yeah, because sometimes I find myself not stressed about writing, but not sure what to write. So then I'm just thinking. I start off with the 3 goods, 3 bads, and then I'm like, I got another page and a half to go, and then I just kind of I wouldn't say bullshit, but I just kind of.
It's not really useful if you're not.
I put thoughts, just random thoughts of ideas. What I think I'm going to start doing is start putting forcing myself at the end of the day come up with 3 video ideas every day.
Yeah.
So 3 goods. So what I do is in every journal entry I do, because they're normally at the end of the day. But even if they're not at the end of the day, I reflect on the past 24 hours. So I think of 3 good things I did and 3 bad things I did every time I do my journal entry. So then I'm going to add to that because I saw this other creator do something. He says at the end of the day, I force myself to come up with 3 video ideas. And then I think that's when I'm going to start doing 3.
Yeah.
But we also used our first cheat meal, which I think this is what we're going to tweak for our cheat meal, is we're going to turn our cheat meal into a date night.
Yeah, because it was so fun.
Yeah. We saw the movie the racing movie Gran Turismo. I've never been a racing game fan. Never really been into racing games, but I know that game. But I didn't know about that buddy's story. I forget his name.
The movie was so good.
Yeah.
I loved it.
If you're a racing fan like I am, I didn't like how they portrayed racing. But as a fan of racing, like F1, but I liked the story and how it was shot. It was the first good racing movie that I've seen in a while, because there hasn't been a good racing movie in a while. I'm trying to think of the last one. Ford vs. Ferrari was, I guess, pretty good.
I honestly had a long freaking weekend.
But we cheated by eating candy, just to let everyone know what our cheat meal was. It was eating candy and popcorn at the movie theater, which is, now we have a month till we could do that again, which...
I'd rather use it on a date night and have a whole thing. Dress up even, just to make it worthwhile, but...
Yeah.
Oh my god, I had the most tiring weekend ever.
Yeah, you sure did.
I waitress. I don't know if I've ever said that. Yeah, I think so. But I waitress sometimes, and it's Labor Day weekend in a town that people visit all the time. And I think I've seen a million faces past like 72 hours. But yeah,
More than 7.
I felt
Oh, maybe not.
I feel my energy feels very off because I feel like I've been interacting with so many of these people's energies, and just like the amount of hours back to back doing that.
Yeah.
I'm like so aware of my energy and how I'm feeling, especially nowadays, and my energy's so drained. My whole being is just drained from last weekend.
Yeah, and what I noticed is when those things drain, you right after you kind of drain all of it off. Like you just say. Once I pick her up, it's like everything you wanted to say at work, but you held back because you were at work, gets said in the car ride home.
Well,
I only picked her up this weekend.
That's only if he asks me. That's only if you ask me.
Well, if I don't ask you,
I just sit there.
No, you make you always bring it up no matter what. You wouldn't believe.
That's so bad then, because you're not really supposed to bring work home, but
no, but I always ask you because I know you need that ventilation. But yeah, you had a very busy week.
Taking shots. I'm just kidding.
But it was good because this is the first time I really dropped you off at work instead of because it was so busy you didn't want to deal with parking and whatnot. So then I got to go to the park every day. I brought Odin while I dropped her off, and then brought him to the park, which he loved every day for the past 3 days. He loved the park.
Yeah.
But
big old baby.
A lot of stuff has happened since our last podcast.
Yeah.
We dropped 2 last week, which is the first time we ever dropped 2 in a week. We kind of shot 2 back to back without even noticing. I didn't even realize how. We're gonna
probably do the same. I think
we'll try to do 2 this week. But we're already on Wednesday tomorrow. So unless we shoot one tomorrow or Thursday and then drop it on Friday or on the weekend, we can potentially do that. But a lot of stuff has happened. One, Trump has been arrested. He turned himself in. There's the viral mugshot of him. Okay, so this is what I think of it. If he gets off of these charges, if he's not charged with anything that's actually conspiracy about the election, he's gonna blow up crazy.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
The Democrats, I feel like, are really playing a tightrope of like, if they don't get this through, they are screwed.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be like another like Russian thing, the Russian thing that happened when he was in president. It's just gonna be like, oh well, okay, I don't want to say I hope he gets charged, but it will make things a little less hectic. Because if he doesn't, things are going to be chaotic. And then he's going to be our president, most likely.
He's going to have so much to say. He's going to have so much to say.
Oh, my gosh. He's going to... Oh, man. Because he made merch out of his mugshot. He had the most donations in like a certain hour period after his mugshot. Milk Boys made merch. Like, I think he raised over $7 million in like 48 hours after that because of that mugshot and making merch out of it. So, if he did the things that they're trying to charge him for, he should go to jail or not run for president. But if all of it's bad, and it's just political, and they're just doing this to get him out, they are screwed. So, either way, I find it so funny that we're living in a very interesting time in history.
It's a very random time. So much is happening. The aliens.
Oh my gosh! We just watched part of the Joe Rogan where the 2 like I don't know their names. They're like the 2 UFO investigator people who
I forgot
they helped the guy who the whistleblower that just talked in front of Congress. If you watch that, they're in the background because they are like his advisors or whatnot, or work with him on like what he could say and what he couldn't say. And man, we're living in weird times. I don't even interesting.
I agree with the alien thing about how like, if it's such a huge deal and we make such a huge deal out of it and we know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Like, that is a cause for concern. We literally know nothing. I don't know anything. I don't know if anyone knows anything besides people that keep up with it. Like, are in that space of like, 100 some people.
Yeah, and this is the thing. every time we get more information, like these sightings, these whistleblowers, I feel like I know less. Still, it's like, oh, yeah, you're just kind of confirming things that we all kind of already
I've
realized.
seen aliens before. Have I ever told you this? I was with my friend Katie.
What the? Hold on.
So, first of all, what were you gonna say? I'm pretty sure I've seen aliens.
You're pretty sure. You're not 100% sure.
Okay, so
You saw something in the sky.
one time, me and Katie were driving, and it was very, very dark, and we're driving into Atlanta, and it was near the airport. Oh, this might sound bad. I feel like I'm not.
Come on,
So I was in the airport.
telling
We
your
were
story.
driving on the highway, and it was dark, and then we remember seeing light, like there are planes just sitting in the sky stalling. That's what it looked like. And then so the planes were. I don't know if you've ever seen a plane stall in the sky. You just see lights, and they're just sitting, and they're just going back and forth, and all of a sudden, they got smaller, the lights, and then they got really big, and it shot across the sky. And it was a freaking... They just... I don't know how to describe that. I've seen aliens. I'm not crazy.
Tell your story. The
that's
song,
it.
The name of the song is "Powerful Alien Contact Music."
That's it. But, like, if you... It sounds crazy to describe out loud, but it would look like just planes stalling in the sky. It was a bunch of lights just floating above you, and then...
Are you sure you were with me when we saw those? Because remember we were in the car that one time, and we were by the airport, and we're looking, we saw those three dots in the sky, just chilling there.
That's what I'm talking...
Another time?
That's another time, yeah. But it's
But
about...
you don't see me come in and saying I've seen aliens.
Oh my goodness. I've seen something in the sky before.
Well, I think you might have seen aliens, but
I feel like more people have seen them than they know.
Yeah, I feel like they're
Like, have you seen shooting stars?
yeah.
That could have been an alien.
It could be like a spaceship taking off.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I could definitely see that.
I've seen like 2 shooting stars.
And on
Not
Joe
counting
Rogan,
aliens.
the one guy, I think it was Joe Rogan, the guy said he did come up with say something. He's like a lot of people say, well, if there's so many aliens, why are all the pictures blurry? And he did say, he's like, they move so fast, our cameras can't even pick them up. And if they do, it's a blur. So I'm like, okay, that kind of dispels why they're so blurry, but still, I just think
No,
a lot of it is just hoopla of trying to hide stuff.
Yeah, they're just trying to
still
hide
think it.
everything. And you know what I think? Aliens are way smarter than we are. And if it was a battle between us and aliens, we'd probably all go extinct.
Well, I think we all believe in that.
Do we? Is that a known thing?
I
They're
mean-
so much smarter than we are.
Let's
and
be
all
honest.
the devices and stuff.
If they can get to here, and we can't
Yeah.
get to them,
They don't even know what them is.
well, yeah, exactly.
They probably know everything about us.
But that's another thing that the guy on Joe Rogan mentioned. He's like, what if we're like their experiment, and that's why the government found out that we're their experiment, like they implanted us here on Earth.
Oh my gosh! Sorry. That's a crazy theory.
Yeah, and then he's like,
But I believe it.
would people how would people react to that? Maybe that's why they're still holding it. Like, what if the aliens put human species there? But if you play Halo, that's actually the start of it. If you know anything about the Halo origin stories and whatnot, and Forerunners. Well, are you taking the time to comprehend?
I'm sorry. I needed a second to fully digest that. My chest was beating out of my body.
What the heck?
I don't know
you never
why.
thought about this before?
I've never thought about that before for some reason. But it makes a lot of sense, and it also freaks me the frick out. That freaks me out.
If we're like the product of an alien experiment, like
Because
Because, like, look, what we do with rats, we put them in environments and try to learn from them. What if they did that for an Earth? Maybe they put people on Earth and see how we react with environments, and boom. What if they created all of our religions and why
I'm
all of our
speechless.
religions? Maybe that's the reason why all the religions come from the sky, because they're bringing their ships down and like acting, and maybe this is all conspiracy theories right now, and that's what's going to lead us into our next segment. Since we've had a good time talking about
I'm
conspiracies,
speechless.
we're going to go over 12, if we get through the list, 12 conspiracy theories that ended up true. What gang sign was that? What was that? We're not part of the Illuminati.
Yeah,
here.
that was...
What was...
First conspiracy. Let's do it.
The first conspiracy is
That
called...
got me... that alien thing got me all jittery inside.
Okay. The first conspiracy. This is going to be hard for you to cut if you're laughing in the back.
Okay, go ahead.
She does the clips now. She's our clip editor. New clip editor.
Don't say nothing.
What the...
Just kidding.
Okay. All right. The first conspiracy. The Dead Baby Project. The conspiracy is the government was stealing dead bodies to do radioactive testing. The truth? The government was stealing parts of dead bodies because they needed young tissue. They recruited a worldwide network of agents to find recently deceased babies and children, and then took samples, even limbs, each collected without notification or permission of the more than 1,500 grieving families.
Okay.
Holy crap.
Okay. First of all, that is wrong so many different ways. But really just...
It's called Project Sunshine.
What the... HE double hockey sticks. Project Sunshine? Are you kidding me? That's a horrible thing because at least let the parents consent. I promise you there's probably people out there for the right price, deceased... They would, for the right price, they would give up a limb or give up something like that. But for them not to know that you took an arm of my baby that passed away.
So the preface of this, they started this program right after World War II, and we dropped the atomic bombs on Japan, because this is it was for the world to see the worldwide effects of atomic weapons. So they were doing this to see what probably would happen to kid tissue of after bombs, and that's exactly because I was in August 6, 1953. Whoa.
That's why it's called Project
Okay, this
Sunshine.
is going to be an interesting segment. All right, the next one's called Bad Booze. Conspiracy. During Prohibition, the government poisoned alcohol to keep people from drinking. The truth? Crazy conspiracy theories almost always suggest the government is behind it all. And they were right, again. Manufacturers of industrial alcohol have been mixing their product with dangerous chemicals for years prior to Prohibition. But between 1926 and 1933, the federal government pushed manufacturers to use stronger poisons to discourage bootleggers from turning the alcohol into moonshine. That didn't stop the bootleggers or their customers, and by the end of Prohibition, more than 10,000 Americans have been killed by tainted booze. Limiting alcohol is a health advice doctors can agree on. But these 11 health conspiracies still define people. So we got 11 more after that. So the government was poisoning us in the 20s and a little bit in the 30s. I don't get it, but that makes sense.
I get it.
No, I mean, I don't want them to do that.
Makes sense. Dang, could you imagine doing that right now? So many more people would die.
Yeah.
Everyone.
All right. Conspiracy number 3. The first lady who ran the country. Conspiracy. A stroke rendered President Woodrow Wilson incapable of governing, and his wife surreptitiously stepped in. I think I pronounced that word wrong, but who cares? Okay, first I want to preface this. Woodrow Wilson is probably one of the most racist presidents of all time, and arguably might have been in the Ku Klux Klan. He also projected Birth of a Nation, which is one of the most racist films you can ever look at the White House.
I don't think I've ever seen that film.
Of course you did. No one has. It's a black and white. It's like a racist Klans film, and he stream. I keep saying streaming, but he projected it at the White House. All right. So the truth: Wilson did suffer a deliberating stroke towards the end of his presidency, but the government felt it was in the country's best interest to keep things quiet. The public didn't learn about the stroke for months, during which time his wife Edith Wilson was making most executive decisions. Despite Mrs. Wilson claiming that she acted only as a steward, historians who all have analyzed the Wilson term in office confirmed that for well over a year, Mrs. Wilson was effectively president. Whoa.
It was in our best interest.
Again,
To not know any of that.
I'm pretty sure, once again, that's in the 20s.
I know,
Let's see. Yep, that was before the 20s, 1915. So
take it way back, way.
Yeah, it seems like the government got away with a lot of fuckery.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry for cussing, but the next one, government
goodness.
mind control. I've actually read about this conspiracies, which is kind of effed up. This is actually what they potentially had proof of why Marilyn Manson, I think it is, committed those murders. In the Unabomber, I think it was the Unabomber, was also on the list of these things.
No way.
I'm pretty sure. The conspiracy. The CIA was testing LSD and other hallucinogen drugs on Americans in a top-secret experiment on behavior modification. Yep, okay. The program, also known as MK Ultra, and it was real. The CIA started by using volunteers. The novelist Ken Kesey was one notable subject, but the program heads soon began dosing people without their knowledge. MK Ultra left many victims permanently mentally disabled. Don't miss those.
Holy crap. Except we in the last sentence.
Yeah, the last sentence always promoting the whole
Oh my
article.
gosh.
Yeah, you should CIA Marilyn Manson murders.
Going up against the CIA or like a government or a government official must be so exhausting. To know how
Okay, yeah. So the
shady it
movie's
is.
called Chaos. The book's called Chaos: Marilyn Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the '60s. That's a book from the writer of the book has been on Joe Rogan, and he started investigating this because he used to work as a reporter, and this was supposed to just be a column.
Yeah.
Where I'm butchering this, where you know how like newspapers used to have columns, like small stories? It was only supposed to be a column where he would investigate and talk to, I guess, the police in this one area. And he literally uncovered how Marilyn Manson, or Charles Manson, I was keep saying Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I was
Manson.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marilyn.
Sorry, Marilyn. Charles Manson
Yeah.
kept getting booked, like getting in jail, and then been taken out without any reason. And then he like in and out of jail, but there is no reason of why he was getting off of these small petty crimes. Besides that, he later uncovered that there was this one guy who worked for the CIA that would always be the investigator on the same reasons on why, and then he would let him go. And he uncovered some other things. I'll have to show you that podcast because it's really crazy what he's uncovered. Because he literally stumbled upon the story and then for years just followed the investigation of because you can public record request like his bookings, so you can see all the investigators that were on it. And then it noticed that this investigator oddly worked for the CIA, and then or worked for a shell company that was working with the CIA.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, but
Oh my god.
next one. This one I read this one earlier. The Dalai Lama's impressive salary. The conspiracy is the Dalai Lama is a CIA agent. Perhaps the reason the Dalai Lama is smiling in all these photos has something to do with the six-figure salary he pulled from the U.S. government during the 60s. According to declassified intelligence documents, he earned $180,000 a year's salary in connection with the CIA's funding of the Tibetan resistance to tune in of $1.7 million per year. Okay, so it was $180,000 in connection with the CIA's funding, and it ended up. So I said annually. I just put that in because I thought that's what their sentence was going to. But he made $1.7 million a year off the CIA. Didn't he get
Dalai Lama's impressive salary?
Wasn't this the guy that just kissed the little boy?
Yes.
Man, he's stacking money and kissing little boys.
Little boys
What
and stacking money.
I can't believe this guy's still a thing.
Dalai Lama. Look how. Oh my god.
Okay, the next one's a little less, because I already knew this one. John Lennon was under government surveillance. The FBI was spying. This is a conspiracy. The FBI was spying on former Beatle John Lennon. The truth? Crazy conspiracy theories regarding celebs are always interesting, and this one is most certainly true. Like many counterculture heroes, Lennon was considered a threat. Anti-war songs like "Give Peace a Chance" didn't exactly endure with former Beatle John Lennon to the Nixon administration. Didn't he get in trouble for like spying on the CIA or something like that? Okay, that's a
I always forget who John Lennon was.
Lead singer of the Beatles.
I know.
Okay, this one's more recent. This one falls into Bush era. The government is... Oh, actually, this is Obama's.
What?
Oh, yeah, this is when... Okay. The conspiracy. With the advances in technology, the government is using its vast resources to track its citizens. The truth? In 2016, government agencies sent 49,868 requests for user data to Facebook, 27,850 to Google, and 9,076 to Apple, according to Electronic Frontier Foundation, a major nonprofit organization that defends civil liberties in the digital world and advises the public on matters of internet privacy. So they're just staying. Well, I thought that's what Edward Snowden came out and...
No, and I feel like before that, if you didn't know that they were following you on your phones, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think there's
They'd be crazy not to.
Yes, and I don't agree with them doing it, but if you're not doing anything bad, you should be, like, fine, you know?
You should be fine if you're not doing anything bad. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're not doing anything bad.
So we're fine.
All right, we're almost to the end of the list. We got two more. Big Tobacco knew that cigarettes cause cancer.
Obviously.
Conspiracy. For decades, tobacco companies buried evidence that smoking is deadly. At the beginning of the 1950s, research was showing an indisputable statistical link between smoking and lung cancer. But it wasn't until the late 90s that Philip Morris, the nation's largest cigarette maker at the time, even admitted that smoking could cause cancer. Damn, the 90s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This one...
That's why everyone smoked back then.
Okay, so this next conspiracy is the reason why I like growing up and learned this in history. And since a little kid in history class, this is what turned me off from ever listening to governments again.
What?
And I learned about this conspiracy probably in like first, second grade. And I just always liked history. And this is why I am against like believing what our government is. The Gulf of Tonkin incident of August 2nd, 1964 was faked to provoke American support for the Vietnam War. By the time news reached America's ears, the facts surrounding the North Vietnamese attack on the American naval ship Maddox was already fuzzy. Declassified intelligence documents have since revealed that the Maddox had provided support for South Vietnamese attacks on a nearby island and that the North Vietnamese were responding in kind. According to the U.S. Naval Institute, the event opened the floodgates for the direct American military involvement in the Vietnam War. So this doesn't do it the best at describing it. So in short.
Yeah.
At the time, the government was telling the American people we are not at war with Vietnam, but we were supporting the South Vietnamese in a battle and we were supporting them and got our ship sank. So the American public's perception and like for going to war in Vietnam, because everyone was like, no, we're not support, kind of like how Ukraine is like, no, we're not going to get them. We told the people that they attacked our ship and sank our ship, and then kind of like how Pearl Harbor happened, like they attacked us.
Oh my goodness.
Our government, which I think it was Lyndon B. Johnson at the time, Democrat. No, I just think he's a corporate. I feel like he's one of those establishments. But they lied to the government, and which brought us into the the Vietnam War. And then we only found out.
Dang.
Yeah, years later. I think that. All right, let's see. Canada tried to develop gaydar.
Oh my gosh.
What's
the last one?
This one. Oh, no, wait. Oh, what the... Okay, so we got 3 more, actually. This one is kind of... We already covered this.
Yeah.
Conspiracy. E.T. is buried in the desert of New Mexico. The truth? This one is real. The Atari video game E.T., the external terrestrial, failed so miserably that the company buried unsold cartridges in a desert landfill.
Oh my gosh.
It was like, we can't do anything. All right, next one.
Oh my god.
Canada tried to develop gaydar. The Canada government was so paranoid about homosexuality that it developed a gaydar machine. And it really happened. In the 1960s, the government hired a university professor to develop a way to detect homosexuality in federal employees. He came up with a machine that measured pupil dilation in response to same-sex erotic imagery. The Canadian government used it to exclude or fire more than 400 men from civil service.
Oh my
the military,
gosh.
And the Monatees? What the fuck is that? The American government is just as guilty with... Oh, okay. And the last one. The Illuminati in the U.S. government. Conspiracy. A secret society that rules the world. The Illuminati and the U.S. national security are in cahoots. The truth? We're here to tell you that a link does in fact exist. Of course, that link is actually a hype. Oh my god. That last one was just an...
Oh my gosh, no way. It's a hyperlink?
Yeah, okay, so that last one was...
Oh
okay.
my god.
That one is not... Take that one. That is not a real conspiracy. They just got me. The whole time I'm like trying to miss that last line. Like, because this article has links to like the evidence, but it promotes the whole other articles in the last line of every section. And the last full one was a article for their next one.
It's actually a hyperlink.
Yeah, so then the head of this one, maybe we'll cover next time, is 18 insane conspiracy theories about the royal family.
Oh, we
18 is a lot. I don't feel like going over 18 more conspiracy theories.
18's a crazy amount.
But
don't worry, we're not going
to close this segment is, it's funny how like people's perception of history is always like, oh yeah, that's the shady stuff that was going on in the government. But then they never use that knowledge of analyzing what's going on right now. So it's like everyone on either if you're a Democrat or a Republican, always agrees at face value with their party if you're hardcore. And then that's how they pass these things over us. Like, because it's like, okay, they're
I mean, it's probably some of this stuff is probably still happening, for sure, 100%.
Some. I saw an article, a video, not an article. I read what's it called? CNN. It was like 60 Minutes. That's what it's called.
Yeah. I
forget what segment they were doing, but they were doing something about government agencies. And there's over $50 billion of unaccounted money in the U.S. budget that they don't know where it goes. They don't know where over $50 billion goes every year. Because there's
so much stuff going on.
It's like, it disappears. Like at one point it says, this is used for classified. And they don't see where that classified stuff goes.
But I mean, like, You could sit there all day just staring at the sky, wondering what the heck goes on that you don't know about. We literally know nothing.
Yeah.
On like a perspective side of it, there's like, ugh.
Are we going to turn this podcast into an investigative journalism podcast where we just investigate the government and overthrow all the conspiracies? Or not overthrow,
No, because I would
guess.
lose my mind.
Oh my God. Imagine being
I would
people
lose
that just,
it.
If I
was investigating the aliens or knew that like there's a certain group that I knew about for sure that
honestly, I want to take back what I just said because I don't want the CIA even thinking that's what this podcast is.
Oh my gosh, no, that's not what's going on. No.
Or the FBI. I really
It's not what's going on.
What?
FBI.
FBI and CIA.
No, FBI, CIA.
That's where you think it's. I think I could go with you on that. I think FBI is more drug crimes, like criminal
If
murders.
FBI is at a crime scene, I'm pretty sure the CIA can come and overturn them.
She doesn't know.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Law and Order in my days.
I just think like CIA is like central. It's like super secretive. Everything the CIA does is super secretive. There's FBI where it's secretive, but I feel like they're just going after like more like I said,
crimes
murders,
that people know about.
crimes, giant drug busts,
Yeah.
Maybe giant laundering schemes and whatnot. But I feel like the CIA, they're Central Intelligence Agency, right? CIA. So it's like they're dealing with intelligence. It's like, what's the
They're gonna be knocking on our freaking.
But I bet you there's some overlap. I bet you there's cases where the FBI is like, where the CIA is like, hey, you got our man. Like,
Oh yeah.
just like the movies, like they bust a drug dealer and then the CIA comes like, hey, we have that guy.
Yeah.
But dang.
Where the FBI goes in and finds somebody that's undercover, but they're undercover than the CIA. And the FBI didn't know, they just busted their case open.
I guess we got to start covering more conspiracies on this podcast because they're pretty fun to talk about.
Police are crazy.
What?
Yeah.
So what's your conspiracy about police that you're about to bring up?
No, I don't have one.
Okay, we'll do one news check, see what's on the headlines recently. Actually, I'll go Google Trends.
Oh my gosh, there's a Vegas bar that has 2 robots serving drinks.
Is it good?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably like, I wouldn't say pre-mixed. They probably have like a robot they program to do like 2 pours of vodka, 2 pours of this, so it's a perfect drink mix. But yeah, they're slinging drinks. Who knows if we're going to lose our job? People are worried.
I don't know. We're pretty good at what we do. I guess there's trending. These are the top 4 things that are trending on today's. Travis Kelce hurts his knee. I don't know who. Enrique Tarrio, ex-Proud Boys leader, is sentenced to 22 years for 22 years for the January 16th. That's why I'm saying the Trump thing. They're either making, because they can actually have proof on the people who stormed the Capitol. Like, they have proof that you're there.
Remember that lady on Kill Tony?
Oh, yeah, that lady on Kill Tony. I forgot. Go check out the lady on Kill Tony. She actually stormed the Capitol, and she's on a do-not-fly list now. She cannot fly here.
That's so crazy.
Because she was the one of, I don't know how many, thousands of people that stormed, and she's on a do-not-fly list. She's like, I don't know how I got on that. She's like, that's literally how she talked, too. It's like, I don't know how I got on that list. She talked like a robot.
The only thing I did. Yeah.
Well, Kill Tony, the only thing I did during this period was doing that. I'm like, oh, man. So, yeah, I don't believe in people who storm the Capitol, but I do think
I don't know.
It's kind of crazy that people did it. I don't know what you.
But then it's like, am I mad she's not on a? Am I mad she's on a do not fly list?
Yeah. So I don't. I guess it kind of like the foundation of America is we technically revolted and stormed the Capitol against the British. I guess this is what those people were just thinking they're gonna do. It's
right.
like, we're gonna take over the government. It's like, I guess. What if that's what happens again? What if the government just keeps becoming more and more disconnected with the people?
It's so scary.
And in 50 years, there's like a upbringing of everyone's coming together saying like, the Democrats suck, the Republicans suck, no one's helping us. Let's all storm the Capitol. And
all
it's
hell
both.
break
Yeah, it's
loose.
like yeah. I really hope that doesn't happen, but
so many people would die.
We're going down the weeds on this one.
Yeah.
What did you just say? So many people. You're thinking about the casualties.
Yeah. We're out for the count. I'm not taking nothing for the team.
And number 4 comes in with Jill Biden. I'm not really sure. She just tested positive for COVID. That's it. Chandler Jones. Yeah, that's a sense of the top.
Oh my god, you know when you don't eat sugar for a long time? And then you finally eat sugar and you feel like you're drunk?
Oh, yeah. I felt hungover the next day after we ate candy at the movie theater. It was hard for me to wake up. I'm going to spend the
next couple days trying to clear my energy because my energy's so messed up.
Yeah, we're doing a 24-hour fast, so maybe if we podcast again in the next 24 hours, you'll get us at the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's where it ends. We're going to be coming up with a series that we cover every podcast. We don't know the name of it. Maybe it'll be the conspiracy one.
I don't think it will be, but we'll figure it out.
Maybe it'll be connected, but I think that's it.
Maybe it'll be aliens.
That's what I'm saying. Did you know? We
Did
cover
you know
anything.
about the aliens?
Did you know part 1 and then cover something?
It might be about aliens. I take that back. They're so interesting.
Don't forget, like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Comment below what conspiracy theories you want us to cover, or anything you want us to cover. I feel like another thing
and
people
drink
can
your water.
Get from this podcast every time they tune in is they'll learn something, whether it's something with mental health, conspiracy theories, stuff that's going on in government.
Or to drink more water.
Or drink more water. I actually need to drink more water. I need it.
Love ya.
Peace.
Thank you.